But any of you have any mental health maybe issue, maybe like you feel depressed and then maybe you want to see a therapist or something? Have you ever seen a therapist or
okay,
anything?
for me, personally, I haven't seen a therapist before. But I remember way back in school, in UCC, I used to have colleagues who were doing psychology. So with them, sometimes certain issues at home, you have what is called PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Something that has happened to you maybe in the past would influence your decisions and certain actions that you do. Maybe you were in a home that maybe your father used to beat your mother because of certain issues that was home. That thing gives you it occurs to you all the time, and it may even influence your decision or your actions when it comes towards your relationships and everything. It will make you feel like that is how you are supposed to also behave whenever you are in a relationship, and that is a mental disorder.
Very true, very true.
Because
very true.
on a normal circumstance, it's not supposed to be like that. So everything that I go through, even accidents, because I remember when I was a kid, there was this accident that happened in front of our house. There was this tanker car that was moving there, and a pastor was going to church one evening with I think a follower at the church or something. So when they were going, I think he was in a hurry because it was late. And I think when he was turning, he slid under the tanker car, and the driver didn't even see that there was anyone under. People around were telling him that but the more you didn't know whether to go for it or come back. At the end, the person, it was an accident, so the person died. And how they took the person to the hospital was a PTSD for me. Every time I hear of any accident, it brings that issue back, because they were using our local language as a ruler to pick the pieces of the person.
It's okay.
So this is very and so when I go to school, I talked to one he was a student by then, and I talked to him all right, and he made me understand that it's normal, something that happens in our daily lives. So I should try my best to see it as the occurrences that happens in life. So that I wouldn't be scared whenever there is any form of accident around, because it will make you feel very anxious, and you start hyperventilating, and your BP and everything can even go high. And when your BP goes high, it has a lot of implications. So I think seeing a psychologist is good, and it helps you to maneuver your way around outside, because everything is coming from left side, center, everywhere.
The government systems have not been easy.
Saturday. So we should be able to find a solution to all these things, and education should really go down. I think that there should be a course that talks about psychology in every institution, whichever level, whether HND, whether degree or masters or wherever. There should be a course that will talk about psychology, that at least it will prepare even people in academia, people are learning to also know that, okay, there is something like this. Because in school, someone will write an exam, put all his or her effort, and still get a D. The person will feel stressed out. How did I put in all this effort and still have this?
So the person will understand that
at least on fun and working on him or yourself.
I see. Yes. So Max, what about you?
So I think I personally had an issue, and I'll call it mental rearrangement, because I see when there's any mental like defect in your mental thinking, the next step is you have to rearrange how you think, and the rearrangement will bring solution. So like I said, I'm a mental health scientist. I practice in a hospital for some time now. So as part of our duties, you have to bleed someone for blood donation. And this old man came physically. I was supposed to have disqualified the man because he looked aged. And you see, they had taken blood for the ward, and they had to replace the blood. And so like the wife came, and she was saying they didn't have anyone on board, like any relative to donate, and we also couldn't have let the man go. So the man decided that he would donate. So we started waiting. I decided to disqualify the man, but I had to just
at hand.
So I just started, and I was only one on duty. And I just did everything, screened the man. He passed all the tests that they needed test. So I put the needle in the vein, and I told him that, with time, I will just babysit him. I forgot about everything because I was the only one on duty. So I went to do other what. I told him to other places. And the man just coughed. The man just coughed. And it drew my attention to the man. After when I went, the blood was
wow.
It has overflowed this thing.
Wow, that means that even in our health setting, even we the workers, they should be like attending to us often because the pressure will not be easy.
And the man just cool. And it was like I really felt when I saw the man coughing. Because Elisa wanted to even discover the man. The man was not even like he looked ill. So I just went there, quickly went there. The stress that came with me, that time my thinking was just basa. I had to let the man stop everything that I was doing, let the man stabilize before
you can.
So if this thing had happened to me, because ever since that incident happened, whenever I see any blood donation, it's just take my mind.
I see.
And it's like you say, so each and every one of us, we have this kind of exposure that might at least rearrange our thinking. And in that instance, you might think maybe it's some like mental derangement or something. It might not be that medically mean one, but at least everyone has at least
one way or the other
how you experience it. Of course, this issue came when two couples decided to marry. The guy actually had mental illness, and the family were so unfair to the woman, that they did not disclose the man's mental status, his health status to the lady. And they went ahead to marry. And the occurrences came. And that was where they told the lady that the man actually had mental illness.
Issue.
If you're the lady, what will you have done?
Because for
the very man that they stayed together, nothing happened. Everything was okay because the guy was taking the drugs in absence of the lady. So you see, we have it, but the severity of it determines on how maybe they exposure that.
Because that means that more often we are only defining people who have mental issues as only somebody who is walking on the street on shatter. That is where people say that already. Now drink can, but Charlie. Who say suit and tie now? Some people say suit and tie. Now drink can. Just one trigger. And I'll be
trigger.
Fine.
Yeah, just a trigger. That's why I said earlier on that I think all field of work should add mental health at least education to whatever they do. Because let's say if you are a teacher in a primary school or SHS, and you try your best to educate your children to pass exams, and at the end of the day they all don't pass. You see the stress it puts on you. It makes you feel like you are not up for the task. Maybe you did everything well, but it just didn't favor what you taught them.
How do you manage it?
So all this education should go. Even being a banker, if you give your client all the financial advice and still the person goes up in debt, how are you going to manage this? As a musician, if you are to produce more music and still not getting any award, we all have instances that it happens that some of the musicians go for award, and when they don't win, you see them misbehaving and doing all those all sorts of things. How are you going to manage this? These are all mental health issues that needs our advice. Yes. As a student or as a medical laboratory scientist, as he said, if you are to treat a patient, you are to run a sample, and maybe you are to perform phlebotomy, get blood from the patient, and at your first time on the field, you injure a patient. You see, it's going to put a PTSD on you, and anytime you meet a patient, you feel scared to pick
another sample.
Yes. So all this education is going to go around everywhere. As a footballer, if you play ball and you are not able to score in the full season, how are you going to pick it up? Because social media will come at you.
Very true.
Yes, being a public figure, musician, they are going to come at you. Exactly. You see, because the one who is on the street there, we know say already a cop. You see, but what about you? You that you are dressed well, walking up and down. When are you going to get your trigger?
You don't know. So the education should go down.
So I also say that mental health is like politics. Okay, in as much as you don't belong to a particular partisan party, it doesn't make you unpolitical. Politics is in our families, in our churches, everywhere. Likewise, mental health. Like they say, it cuts across all angles of our lives. Do you know that you have child mental health disorder? Child mental health disorder. Yes, you be think maybe unless the child is outwardly publicly known to be mad, that why we know that. Aside that madness that we see, children also have what? Mental
issues.
Yes, issues.
We don't
like you say, you can have two children. One will be loved more than the other. It becomes an issue.
How does the child
react? I had an issue like one of my students. You see, she has given birth to like 3 boys, and you see, like this umbilical hernia, umbilical cord, that efrumetuno. Yeah. All the children, they are having the only efrumetuno. Like, I mean, when they cut the umbilical cord, the treatment was just fair that there was no inflammation of this umbilical cord to cause that umbilical hernia. One of the children has it, and it has become issue to the boy, issue to the mom. According to Michelle, why is it that my other 2 brothers are having this and I'm having this? They're not having it, I'm having.
Sometimes at the long run, confidence in
self-esteem.
This child goes to school. Because because the other children, and at times it protrudes. It protrudes, like it becomes obvious. Okay, so it's issue here. So mental health is all stages in life. It looks funny, but it's a serious case.
It's very serious. So what do you think that as a community we can do to probably help people who are suffering from mental health? Should we should try and welcome them, and then we should also try and let them know that it is okay to not be okay. If you're not fine, that doesn't mean you are bad.
It's very okay not to be okay. To the extent that we ourselves as individuals should be able to accept what we are going through. For you to accept, if you are able to accept, that is when you can go to someone for help. If you are not accepting what you are going through, then there's no way. It's like having a disease condition. If you are HIV positive and you are not ready to accept that you are HIV positive, then you are never going for treatment.
Very true.
So it's time for us to accept who we are and what we are going through, and let people be aware. Now, letting people be aware is where the problem comes in.
Very true.
Because you are going to be stigmatized. Now, if you are going to be stigmatized, then let me fold into my shell and just be in my lane. And that will boil down to what? Education. If the general public is being educated on how issues are supposed to be handled and make people be aware that there is this form of disease condition. Recently, there was this bipolar that went on social media for people to understand. And that's where you realize that there are lots of people that don't even know what bipolar disorder is. They've not heard of it before. Now, even now that has even gone down, let's go to our villages, or let's make a survey. Let's just go to town and ask about people who are aware of bipolar disorder. They are not aware. So if they see anyone behaving or misbehaving in a way, how are they going to handle it? They will never understand what is going on. I think education should go down well. And also, let's set up some kind of offices in our some kind of district, or let's say a committee or something that's going to help solve these issues. You know, when you go outside, they have homes that they take our elderly. Yes, they take them there. Now, these people are there because they know that at that age, they might develop any form of what? Dementia. And when they develop dementia, they can tell you to go and bring me food. And after, they can even be there and feel like eating something that they've never mentioned of it before. That's where they start calling them riches. Because what another sorry, what another on one was sorry on a baby. Which better now have that ball so. Then they will come and say that 2 years no. But you don't have the person suffering from dementia. You have no idea. So they start calling these people what? Rich, giving them names that they are riches, and it's not fair because they have no idea about mental health, and they don't know anything about dementia. we have various types of dementia, because dementia itself is like forgetfulness. When you are not able to remember everything, or even your own self, you forget your own self. So I think education should go down, and also there should be set up facilities to help people who are going through this condition. And also we should add a course to every program in Ghana here, and let them understand that there is something that has to do with what? Mental health. Whichever program that you are doing, there should be a course laid out, because now I've realized that there are entrepreneurship. Most every program you do entrepreneurship, level 200, 300 or whatever, you do entrepreneurship. Now let's incorporate mental health. Let it be a course on its own. Let them understand the various types of mental health, so that they will be able to welcome anyone who is also having this disease condition.
Then I think this your submission, I'll forward it to the president so that
sure can help. sure if it's possible, and I think it should be done as a nation.
So now, so for the president.
So I think it's a tough situation that we need to deal with, and the processes they're not smooth as we are thinking. Very rigorous. Because to me, like I've been saying, we all have these challenges, one way or the other. So if assuming like someone, a mental nurse person's attending to a mental health patient, you see, it means that the mental health personnel, healthcare provider, has to, at some point in time, be on the same plane with the patient to meet the patient's needs. It means that the patient, the nurse has to think, calm down, to think like that of it. Yeah, so in that state of thinking, the mental health nurse becomes what? Also mentally unstable to meet. So you see, the compromise, you do everything. Now he's talking about acceptance. Very good. First of all, we need to accept the fact that I have this challenge. Otherwise, you will go for treatment. Now, you see, going for treatment is not the issue here. The issue has to do with the people I have to confide in them. The confidence I have in people, when I talk to them, when I disclose my situation to them, how will they handle it? So to me, we should have it in such a way that legal proceedings supposed to be set up against stigmatization. Okay, stigmatization is the issue here. Me coming to tell you my issue is not the problem, but afterwards, what happens? Okay, so we should have punitive measures in place, okay, because we have to resolve this issue once and for all, because this issue is everyday thing. Today I'm all right. Next time, because of condition service, like conditions that I'm exposed to, it changes my way of thinking. Okay, so this is everyday stuff. So to me, we should embrace them. They first of all have to accept that they have this challenge. They have to accept, like he's saying, and then after that, society has to also embrace, love them. Because if today it is Kofi, the next day it could be me that I'm showing that stigmatization. Okay, so loving them, acceptance of their fact that they have this, loving them, embracing them into the society, integrating back into the society. If they were doing something that because of their illness they were deposed of, they have to bring them back when they are recovering. Okay, and now the final thing I want to say is that stigmatization needs to be dealt with, and we need punitive measures. If you find us that someone is at least showing any stigma to any people who are suffering from such things, we need to punish them. Because this is everyday issue. This also. Okay, because if you don't punish them and this stigma, because that's what I'm saying, it is a behavioral change. Like I initially said, typical Ghanaian retrogression has to do with what? Behavioral change. Behavioral change. Because this stigmatization has to do with behavioral change. Like you said, education comes in, though, but at least after education, how many people, how many of the elite still show this or lack this behavioral change?
Oh, I see.
So I think the stigmatization has to be a punitive measure that will be given to us, or will be placed on people who show this kind of what. And so we need that the government to come on board to make sure that there are law that will reinforce or enforce people not to stigmatize. And when you go wrong, you'll be given punishment.
Oh, that's
and then with this, people have confidence in the system that they will be able to disclose what they're going through. Because as it stands now, disclosure of mental health is still an issue. Otherwise, I will not cite an example that in a relationship, a guy who was suffering from mental illness never disclose it to
the other person.
the partner because of stigmatization. So that is the issue now.
The conversation was very, very, very interesting. I think would end it here, or else we'll stay till evening. So thank you for coming on to Charley Matter Day podcast. For tell my people say Matter Day. Look into the camera and tell my people say Charley Matter Day. Matter Day. Go suck. Thank you very much.